All right, so right now I have 4 different graphs of a position versus time graph, meaning I am going to analyze the motion of an object that is represented from an x versus t graph. X represents the position and t represents the time. So some things that you need to keep in mind whenever you're analyzing a position versus time graph is what the slope represents. For all of these graphs, the slope is the velocity, meaning how fast the object is traveling and the direction of motion. Okay? You also need to understand a linear slope the velocity is constant, meaning it won't change the entire time. If I have a curved line, exponential if you will, I know the velocity is changing. And if you understand your vocabulary terms for motion, you know that whenever the velocity is changing, we call that acceleration. Okay? So those are some basic things you need to keep in mind whenever you're looking at an x versus t graph. So now each graph. Okay? In graph number 1, we know that we have a linear slope, meaning we have a constant velocity. All 3 lines are constant. Same thing with graph number 2. Okay? In graph number 1, you'll see that all 3 lines have a positive slope. If I have a positive slope, then I know the object is moving in the positive direction. If we are in a horizontal plane, I know that in graph number 2, you'll see that we have a negative slope. Which means in the horizontal plane, the object is moving to the left. Okay? Please remember that it's all about the direction of the object, and just because it's going in the upward motion in graph 1 doesn't mean that the object is actually moving up. Okay? It just means it's moving in the positive direction. Same thing with graph number 2. Just because the lines and the arrows are in the downward direction, it does not mean the object is moving down or falling. It just means that the object is moving in the negative direction. Okay? I like to start off with the horizontal plane because most people walk positive and to the backward. That's fine. Down, that's fine also. Just you have to make sure you understand vertically falling at the individual lines themselves, A, B, and C for graphs 1 and 2. Now we need to figure out which one is going the fastest and which one is going the slowest. And I have a little trick for this. I like to say if you're running, you're more, generally speaking, if you're standing up, you have the ability to move faster than if you are laying down. So if the line is more vertical, then the line or the object is moving faster. If the line is more horizontal, then the object is moving. Okay? Is stand up, speed up case. Line A is the fastest. And C is the slowest. Okay. Does that hold true for number 2 in the negative direction? A, okay, or vertical. So A is the fastest and C is the slowest. Okay? Now let's look at our curved lines, in that the velocity is the entire trip. Now my object is accelerating. If you look at graph number 3, we know the object is moving in the positive direction. So that means we have the positive slope. Okay, again, I like to say to the right. In graph number 4, we have a negative slope. Therefore, the object is moving to the left. Now I need to use my trick of stand up, speed up, lay down, slow down to determine which line, A or B, is speeding up and which line, A or B, is slowing down. Okay, so if I look at line A and I take my straight object and start here at the origin and follow the line, does the object become more horizontal or more vertical? As you can see, now my pen is completely flat, aka horizontal. So line A is slowing down. That means line B, as you see, is going more vertical, meaning is speeding up. Remember, acceleration can be an increase in velocity, a decrease in velocity, or a change in direction. Okay? In graph number 4, I look at line A, and now line A is becoming more vertical, so A is speeding up. That means B, as you can see, becomes more horizontal, so it's slowing down. Okay? Something that I would like for you to always keep in mind when you're looking at an x versus t graph, or if you are going to sketch a description given to you for an x versus t graph, you need to make sure you always go from left to right. You cannot go from right to left. Time only moves in the positive direction, so please keep that in mind. Always left to right. Good luck.